stream quality has been low, and I've been watching my live stream being like, why is it perfectly clear and actually really high quality lighting at some points because the game's high quality. But sometimes it's really fuzzy. That's because my stream is low quality while the game is high quality. So I'm decided to try and do a stream at standard quality instead of low. I didn't notice it was on low until today. I just noticed it was on standard. So
Seems Lenny is saying some strange things again.
we're gonna be doing this. Sorry, I'm trying to check audio, so you're gonna be hearing a lot of echoing. Sorry, I'm trying to check audio. Okay, that's okay. We're good. Woo! We're finishing it. So suspenseful. But we're finishing it today. I wanted to do a stream every week, like once a week, which I could have done and taken up probably the whole patch, or most of the patch, but we're just going to do that with the story quests. So next week is going to be Nuviet, and then Nuvilet, I'm not sure. And then after that is going to be Rothsley, because I do not like Rothsley right now. I don't like Nuvilet either. I just don't like a lot of the characters here. My favorite characters are the Fatui, which who's surprised? I've always been more sympathetic to the Fatui than the heroes, because the heroes seem to have committed more unnecessary genocide. That's all I'm saying. Just being clear. If you look at the facts. Anyway, I'm a little less tired than the last two streams, so this is going to be super fun. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. I'm moving my chair around like it's wiggly, wiggly wobbly. Okay, wait, I'm gonna calm down. My mistake I made for my first stream is that I used too much of my energy right at the start, and at the end was basically falling asleep. So, we're not gonna do that. I have a lot of energy right now, but I want to have the exact same amount of energy I have now, maybe a little less, but basically the same by the end. And if we're gonna do that, we can't use it up now. So I'm very energized and excited, and I hope that stays that way. But if it doesn't, I'll just chug a bunch of ice tea and come back. Roxley, hey babies. I hate you right now, but
Excuse me?
Am I the only one? Okay, this is gonna sound weird. Am I the only one that noticed that I think Chlorom's character model has changed since the first Archon quest? Because it looks more polished if you look at it, right? Like the ponytail looks more detailed, like a playable character, and then her bangs look less choppy and look more flattering. Because before I thought her hair looked super awkward, but now I'm like, it's actually kind of cute.
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
I don't like you, sir.
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I don't like you, sir.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegeween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
Anything suspicious?
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Yeah, we're a little pissed right now.
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Are you kidding me? You self-righteous, pretentious little bitch. You're an asshole and you're like, let me enlighten you. Because I'm smarter. Because I'm better. You're not better, bitch. You're a piece of shit and I hate you. You're not better than me. Don't fucking say enlighten, asshole. You did something horribly shitty. I don't care if the reason behind doing the shitty thing was saving the world. You shouldn't have done it. There were other ways to get the job done than be a piece of shit. You chose that. That was a choice that you made deliberately. And you did it in the worst way possible. There is no enlightening. You are explaining yourself. You are a child and we are your parents. And we can fucking ground your ass in 6 feet under.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you?
Asshole.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing. You're a
Unfortunately,
piece of shit.
things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Be honest.
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the
Oh,
inmates.
you get to run a big
That's all.
thing and basically have everything you want. Oh, how sad. Such a punishment. You suck.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clorant down here?
This dumbass.
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
So the Forbidden Zone really exists? What's inside of it?
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yes.
Yeah,
Piece of
Paimon
shit.
really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
You have been such a horrible person to us. Since we got here, you were kind to manipulate us. You were being manipulative. You didn't actually give a shit. So no, I don't care about you or your opinions, and you are going to give me what I want, because if you don't, I can have you fired. I'm in a better place with the entirety of Fontaine, because I've proved myself to be an amazing fucking person. Unlike you, you shithead.
Follow me.
I hope Cloran kills you. Gladly. I do not like him. I will not be. I was originally going to roll for him because I thought he was super cool and I really liked his story. And I really liked the idea of his story. You know, a criminal that redeemed themselves and made the system better because they recognized what was wrong with it. No! He sucks just as much. Piece of shit. I don't care how fun his playstyle is. I have Hu Tao. Let's get started. Next. It's not fair. I'm gonna go to my commissions team real quick and claim my commission points. I'll never run with the sirens. I found peace in the violence. I'm trying to try out for PMA, yay. Sorry, I do that when I'm trying to remember things. It's not anything else, I promise. I just, when I remember, I make noises. Okay? It's nothing, don't ask questions. It's not good for you. Because I don't know the answer. What was I talking about? Yep. PMA is what is district? Yes, district chorus. I like singing. We have to do it on each day, and I might be doing my own part a little bit, but I actually think I'm doing pretty good. I'm proud of myself. I can read music pretty well now. Couldn't tell you what the notes I am. Well, I could. I could take the time to figure out what the notes I'm reading are. I don't particularly like it.
It's easy to fix a machine when you know how it's built and how it works. But
great. Just want to get all the wishes I can.
people.
I want Farina, but I also really want Elegy because it's too good for two of my favorite 4 stars. Kale and Firezone. So I really want it. And I've been trying to roll for it on every day it's on, and I have...
Getting gear! Frost is coming!
He says Frost is coming when he throws a physical attack? That's stupid. Sorry, that just really hit me in the wrong place. It's so dumb. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. I just can't do that right now. I love Lynette. If he ended up actually hurting Lynette, I think I would have broken my PlayStation and ended stream right the fuck there. This girly pop is one of my favorite characters. She's so nuanced and interesting, and she has a lot of good backstory. In fact, I think she's a more interesting and compelling character than Linny when it comes to backstory and personality, but that's neither here nor there. Opinions. Yes, take me downstairs, you dumb bitch.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
Don't compliment him.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
I don't care about you. There's a forbidden zone. Okay. Is Carl or Sujin gonna come down here with us, or are you just coming down here to assassinate me? I don't trust you.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Yeah, whoa.
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that
What a
is...
huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
They're also some of the best people I've ever met in your...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
I'm telling them, whether you like it or not. I, like, fix my baby's code here. Oh. Like, please just give me a hot second. Let me get my girlie on task, okay? I mean, yeah, that works. Yep, okay. Not perfect, but present. Oh, there's a little bit of bubble to it. It's a miracle.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Very
Stand
easy
back.
to get into for the Forbidden Zone. If it wasn't so hidden, I wouldn't have guessed this place is forbidden. Oh.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
I And what's that in the middle of the room?
Go on, have a look.
Are you going to assassinate me, sir? I will fight back. Empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also a device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some sort of massive sluice gate.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
Water pressure?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary.
Abyssal energy?
The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater is continually
Yes.
leaking into the sea?
That's very likely.
How? How is it
But
leaking?
forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
If this gate falls, all of Fontaine will fall.
You know
with
what the
it.
legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring.
I don't care if
It's
it's
just
boring.
that the
Tell
secret
me.
of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves.
Yeah.
But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld.
That's fair.
Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontanian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Yeah.
Indeed. That's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Do you believe in prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
Fair.
Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
So as the Duke of Meripede, what do you plan to do
Let's
about
go
it?
somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Fine. Oh, texting right in the middle of the night is probably not a smart idea. They'll see it in the morning, it's fine.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
And who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit...
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters.
I
As his
remember
assistant,
now.
Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Was that really necessary?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Well, I don't expect to see all these hidden doors. It's not exactly something you see every
Everyone
day.
really thinks everything's super cool.
Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
This is...
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontanian history?
Not a lot, honestly.
Not much at all.
We're a little lost.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick
Oh,
rundown,
I've heard of this
Fontaine
a little
used to
bit.
be ruled by the
Oh my
Lemurian
goodness.
dynasty.
I only heard
According
it
to
from other
legend,
viewers. I
the
haven't watched it
Lemurian
myself
king
yet, 'cause I
Remus
haven't had
came
the
to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
This is a blind for the ages.
Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call.
Fair.
Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Okay.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Yep, we will.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Me too. I don't look forward to working with you. Okay. That was my mom. Please don't mind her. I hope you didn't hear her. I'm gonna check if you heard her. And if you did, I will cry. That was my mom. Please don't mind her. I hope. Okay. That was my mom. Please don't mind her. I hope you didn't hear her. Okay, you can hear her. A mumbling. But you can't hear the exact words she said. I'm sure someone will point it out, as embarrassing as it is. And in that case, you are an asshole. And not my business. So... move. Okay, achievements. Wonderful. Oh, okay, we're gonna get another wish soon. Right after I switch to my commissions team. I literally just have this for friendship XP. Oh wait, we need to wait a little bit. Till I go there. Return to the infirmary. It's right there, but I should probably grab my rewards. I'm gonna go grab the things. We'll get right back to the story in just a second. forgot to look if Linny and Lynette had their visions. Because if they had their visions, I was going to be like, hey, they should not have their visions. But I never checked. Look, they're convicts. They should not have their visions.
Ad Astra.
Yep.
Thank you for
Thank you.
Ad Astra.
Hello. Hello, welcome. We will get to the story in just a second, but I literally just finished getting my commission points. So sadly, we are not on the story just yet. Well, we're in the middle of the story. But, you know, in the middle of the story, I got my commission points. We'll be right back to it in a second. Just please bear with me. Just a few minutes. No time at all. I love Lynette so much.
Step on up.
Okay. Well, look at that. Isn't that swell? Okay, back to the story. You have to switch to my story team. I don't know why I have a different team for story missions. Because my story team is a Lynette team, and also it can deal damage, actually. So, it's my Animo DPS Lynette team. Very, very, very important to state that. She's amazing. We love Lynette in this house.
Surprise!
Oh. Hey. To the infirmary.
Take it easy.
Come on, Citron. Hello. Hello.
We're back!
They do have their visions. Okay, I'm sorry. They're technically arrested criminals. They're convicts. Why are they allowed to have their elemental visions that can hurt things in the jail?
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Seishween.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place. So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Feeling better now?
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Well, that's good.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
Sure, there's
All
no
right,
cameras in here
then
that I can
I'll
see.
posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Mirapede.
Good job.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
Yeah.
That's our Linny.
All Fremine
Secondly,
supportive bestie.
Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him.
Yep.
What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no-man's land.
Yeah.
As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
When he's grasping the big picture is amazing.
You're super smart!
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Wow, good guess. Here's my info. Oh, seriously.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Ah, that could be the case.
That makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father.
Got it.
No matter what, we're on your side.
We love you, Lenny. We love you,
The two of you
baby.
have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If
You're
you
our
ever
friend.
need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time.
I'll be glad to.
Though you may not
Love
share the sentiment,
Arlecchino.
after all that we've gone through together, the three of us
Boys
basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Sorry.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really
Of
mattered.
course.
And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
We can work together again if necessary.
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
What was that?
Paimon's hungry.
You've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe they're perfectly allowed their visions in this state.
I feel like I should try to become someone more capable of helping.
You're incredibly helpful. Lenny thinks so too.
Yeah, you two are always telling me not to push myself, but aren't you just like that as well?
I love these three. It's just right below. I can just jump down. We're here.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Right on time.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as
Seedween, I love you.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Seedween?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like
She's
to
so
eat?
pretty. We can choose?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Any stuff you have to offer. Biggest portion.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
Yep.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
Mm-hmm. Also brings some drinks over to you. That's the taste a little strange, but she insists they're very delicious. The shakes genuinely taste terrible. At the very least, they help you relax.
So delicious.
Amazing.
Paimon's so
Free
happy.
dinners are the
Paimon
best.
wants to feast like this every day.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
It's wonderful. Thank you, Susan.
Delicious.
Exquisite. Thank you. I wanna shave.
I'm
Hide the
so
milk.
glad
I mean,
to see you
everything's
all
great.
so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Seedween, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother.
Okay, good.
Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned.
Great.
Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
I agree with that about Caesarine, but I do not agree with that about Rothsley. I think Rothsley is too careless and doesn't care about anyone but himself. Well, he cares about the greater good of Fontaine, but he doesn't actually care about people's feelings or emotions, or, you know, mental well-being.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader.
That checks.
Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
That doesn't make sense at all. It's hard to imagine Nouvillette
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Thank you. To the dogs. Up and away. I love having two high movement characters in our party. It's a joy, truly.
Step on up! Surprise!
So much has happened. Harmon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed.
Yeah. It's been
I'm
chaotic.
super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
I'm getting there. Oh. Night night, girlie. Wow, she really immediately fell asleep.
Delicious. Harmon wants seconds for free.
Good night, Paimon. I'm happy we got to see that.
Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea.
Oh no.
Something must have happened. Stop asking.
What?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
What's that sound? Paimon, wake up. We need to get out. We need to see what's going. We need to run. We need to run. We need to run. Oh no. They really do hit us with that build up and then sudden release. I love it though, that like strong, steady build up and then that sudden release of all that tension.
Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Mate.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
What?
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here.
And I'm going straight to Roxley.
Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us.
You said his guy said to evacuate outwards?
Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outward.
The hub must be down below. Oh no, isn't that the gate at the very bottom?
It can't be that thing!
It can be that thing.
Wait,
Let's go.
What? What? Hey, where are you going?
Ignore us. Just leave.
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
We'll be fine.
Hey, hey! Be careful!
We'll be okay. I
Attention.
appreciate your
Please
kindness.
evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Oh no! Come on. I'm excited for the cutscene though. I know it's gonna be a cutscene. We saw that in the trailer. You can't take this away from me. Come on. Come on. Yes, cutscene. Claron. Oh, you look so pretty.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Oh no. Oh!
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Roughly. Nice job. Oh, Claron's, like, all of Claron's, like, design is flowing so well. They're animating this so beautifully. It's gorgeous. Run! Run! Get out of there! Roxley, come on.
Three, two, one.
Come on, slide under there, best of your daddy. Oh, yes, badass. Oh, I love him punching icicles. He's so cool. Badass.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Osea baddies. my goodness, they're so cool. Hit the silence, I found peace in your violence. Sorry. That's me to every video game I've ever played. I found peace in your violence, bro.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the Knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Okay, you can explain everything
Will
to me
do.
later.
You.
Hopefully you know exactly what's happening, Neuvillette. And you're going to get down into the thing and help. Otherwise, we're all fucked. Okay. Come on, move. No time to waste.
Step on up. Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. The Knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Yeah, let's go.
Are you two the Traveler and Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me.
Got it, please.
Though
Take
I'm
me.
sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
I will do my best. Oh, I am so scared. I'm sure Neuvillette's going down to check on things and will help things and everything will be fine. I'm just scared. I'm so scared. Oh, she's so pretty. Are we gonna have that cutscene where the kids come in? I've seen way too many clips of that
so
cutscene.
you two
that I've been
are the
spoiled
honored
for.
guests
I want to
Miss
see the full
Farina
thing. I
mentioned.
don't want to just see the picture.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, Traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
Oh, it seems you're running short of you. Certainly does not seem easy to deal with. Greetings. Pleasure to meet you too.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Of course, thank you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Seems friendly enough, but that can be all there is. She's the first to be recognized. I should be very cautious with her.
Traveler,
Yes.
what do you think of this cake?
It's pretty good. It's quite tasty, and I think Paimon agrees
That's
too.
good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
Wait, Paimon should have no reason to have said
I
something
wonder
like
how
that.
he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
I have faith in his abilities.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Farina looks quite nervous. There must be some kind of bad blood between her and the Knave. Oh.
So you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Eudex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, He just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
I managed to find a few leads on his whereabouts.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
Oh, thank you!
But
I love you already.
would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Yeah?
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
Oh no, Paimon's statement just left us wide open.
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
We do not. But there was also no evidence that he's been injured or killed.
Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
She's turning up the pressure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to convince her, but I can at least try to distract her from Farina. That sounds good to me, yes.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
Oh.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Farina.
Oh, is she boiling the waters with her pyro
I
vision?
don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Yes, another cutscene.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
No, he's a dragon, but it's okay. Come on, Neuvillette. Don't give us that thing now. Look at you go.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Aww. There's a few continuity errors in how much primordial seawater it takes to dissolve someone, but otherwise we're pretty good.
Alright. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, it's going smoothly enough. Are we going to get the cutscene where Linny, Lynette, and Feminine them? Again, I got little pictures. I got a picture of them all standing in the room, and it didn't look like a normal thing. It looked like a cutscene. But I have never seen the full cutscene. Just got that little clip, little picture.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
I'm sure
What
she
are
has
you
a clue.
trying
She's
to
not
say?
an idiot. I do love you, though.
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable?
Get it!
The prophecy's
Maeve.
hanging above
Eat
our
it
necks
up.
like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Farina's not acting. She's like seriously refuting the knave's accusation. She means what she says. She
Then
is
I
not
ask
putting
you,
up a
Miss
front.
Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
So that was a lie, or can she really not tell us? She was so full of conviction and confidence right now, but now she's deflated like a pop
My
balloon.
machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nuvilette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
I don't even know what Nuvilette's task was. Yeah! If I had to guess, he probably went on to deal with the certain primordial sea, but can he really deal with it all by himself? And is Farina being truthful or not?
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise.
Oh, thank you.
You too,
I don't
Paimon.
trust you though, but I want to.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
She's really sweet. I kinda like her. She's kind of a cool baddie. I kinda love her.
Oh,
Just a little
Paimon's
bit.
super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Of course.
Paimon's coming too.
Does that scene of them not exist, Farina?
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Okay, Farina. I'll be walking away from you. Okay, Arlecchino. Oh, you're so cool.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
I presumed.
That's
so.
what Paimon thought.
So, what do you want to say?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
There's no need. Was there something else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina?
That's interesting. Certainly.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master
Oh,
Child
this
was
is the
declared
scene.
guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Yeah.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
Oh, Arlecchino in disguise.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious.
Oh, she does have, like, these cursed, affected arms. That's cool.
Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But
This is her without her jacket
no one
and
will blame
overcoat.
someone for taking the bait.
And with the cloak and
After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
This is also her with her mask. Ah, so she's, like, stealthy.
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
Oh no.
There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Like the Fortress of Meropide.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meropide. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities.
Nice.
Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Iudex Neuvillette.
Wonderful.
The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meropide will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
That's great. Look at them go.
You should know
that's
the
the sound of
rest.
the waters.
Linny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification.
Fair point.
It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you.
Thank you.
You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
I love you. Nuvilette?
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Love you, girly pop.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Furina.
May we ask what happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate.
That's for what happened on our side. Okay.
So as expected, the Knave has turned up the pressure on Furina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
Can I ask you some questions?
Permission granted.
You have enough power to force back the Primordial Sea. Does this mean you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
Fair. What did you sense in the Fortress of Meropide? Did you manage to protect those that needed to be defended?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Clear skies and light rain soon going into a downpour. For Neuvillette mentioned his sense of grief. That legend of family said.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's the dragon sovereign of water.
The dragon of... what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Please do not be so surprised.
I know. Hello, Furina.
Furina?
Neuvillette, are you listening?
Ah, my apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly.
Yes.
I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Of course.
Of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret.
I would never think of doing anything else. Yeah.
There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
We should know this from
They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental Archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Fair.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meropide? Paimon is a little worried.
Sure. See you later, Neuvillette.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Are we done yet? We're not. Oh my goodness, there is so much more. I love this place. And we're returning to the fortress. Oh, everything is... So we'll go to the infirmary and then we'll hop down there right after. Easy peasy. No problems at all. To the infirmary. I am so familiar with this place now.
Get with me!
Okay, let's go. Seizuring. Or the serpents. I'm down for that. Either or.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
They're playing cards. I love these little babies. They're so cute.
A bare teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an A.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorand in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
It was a little surprising.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Amazing.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Linny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
Yay!
For real?
Luna, I
then
love
Paimon
you.
wants another serving
Heart.
of cake.
I'm making a heart with my hands.
Another implies that you were
all
already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Yay!
We should start preparing that tea party.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm all for it.
I'll help you set it up.
I love these three. They're all wonderful little angels. And I don't understand how anyone could ever hurt me.
Over here!
Seizuring, hello.
Seizuring! Traveler, Paimon, you're back!
Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
Don't worry, we're both doing great.
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervillette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being. Of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided.
Of course.
How did Nervillette know that he was needed here?
Well, Monsieur Nervillette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded.
You even know their name.
They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both alright.
Of course we're alright. We're amazing.
If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time.
Of course.
I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
Thank you, you're so sweet. Okay. Well, that's clearly our next destination.
Our bond is strong.
Howdy.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh?
No, not at all.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left?
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
Yeah.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
You guys are both amazing.
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
I'm sure the welfare muse must have just skyrocketed in quality recently.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Sage! No, what do I want? Sorry, that was important. Okay. On to Rossley and Chlorons. Hard to sing. Chlorons. I don't think it's Chlorand. That's a very Americanized version of what I'm guessing is Chlorons. Oh. It's not Chlorand? Is there any way I can get in there? That place is like fully modeled to extreme detail. There's no way we're not going to be exploring in there at some point. It also has that strange green ore. I've seen that strange green ore around, you know. I actually have a little bit of it picked up. Anyway, hello, my two little researchers. Disguised as prisoners.
Miss Sijwin told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
We're fine, thanks.
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
Wouldn't dream of it.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Ha!
Not at all!
Okay, now we get to talk to Archon.
Get with me!
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
I'm sorry, are his thighs thicker than the average? I'm sorry, there's usually like the typical male model, but for some reason he looks like buffer than all the other dudes in their typical like dude model. Cause like he has the tight suit on, he has like the stronger forearms, and he has like the like titty imprint on his suit jacket with multiple layers that's so skin tight you can see through it. And also his thighs look thicker than a Snicker. Whatever, it's fine.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything
Maybe I'm just
still
seeing
alright?
things.
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
He has a job.
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere.
I don't think that's gonna work.
He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sijwin's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sijwin.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
Oh, is she a makeup girl?
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sijwin worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
I'm sure he's super into makeup.
Are these from Sijwin too?
Nope, they're from yours truly.
Oh,
you've already wrapped up
asshole.
your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
We don't have a place to sleep right now.
Then we could stay here for a really long time?
Is food still covered?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Of course. I know. Jeez. Okay. Sleepy, one more rest time, and then we'll probably have some cute little resolution. That ended quicker than I was expecting. It's barely been about an hour and a half. A little over an hour and a half, still. What a wonderful end to a chaotic... I've been having some chaos in real life. So the fact that this ended in such a nice way also makes this stream nicer because I don't feel the stress of the outside world as much.
We're no longer prisoners though, so it really doesn't feel the same.
Feels like a huge weight is off our shoulders. It feels like we've regained our freedom.
Being free sure feels pretty special now.
Paimon, is there anything you'd like to say?
Huh? How did you know?
Because you usually just immediately fall asleep.
Hey, that's not true! Alright. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like, we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool?
We're the best adventurers ever.
You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here?
Being a guide counts too.
Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward.
Can you use galaxy powers to shoot people?
Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too.
Of
the
course.
last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside ourselves. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right?
We'll be fine, so don't worry, Paimon.
Alright then. Good night to you, traveler.
Also, we're not susceptible to the primordial seawater. We're not a fontaine. We'll be fine. Good night to you too, Paimon. Tartalia's vision. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, this one's more intense than before. He's in the primordial sea? The whale. Oh, that thing looks so majestic. Cool. And it's so much larger than him. That was the best way to end that. Please tell me we're gonna get a talking resolution to that. You're gonna make us wait a whole update just to let us talk about it? Oh my goodness. This is all so crazy. Okay. Wow. It's over. It's weird. I don't know how to feel. Well, we have a Fontaine reputation reward. We'll grab that before we end the stream. Wow. Oh my goodness. Still processing it all. That was a lot in the best way. I loved that quest. It was amazing. We really explored characters. We have the promise of a tea party. And we have the promise of a conversation about Tartalia's vision. We are left on a cliffhanger with the giant whale. I'm excited. We have a really good start with a lot of good conversations next time. And we might be working alongside Arlecchino. I mean, that's amazing. Today was such a good day! Just in general, I've had one of the best days of my life. And I know that sounds cheesy, but like, okay, I'm gonna start crying, and I want you to not make fun of me. And I know it sounds cheesy, but like, streaming is not something I know. I don't think I'm ever gonna be successful to pursue it as a career. You know, I don't have the time to put in the effort that other streamers do, so I don't think I can make it. If I did have the time, I would have confidence in myself, but I just don't have time with school and all the extracurriculars I do. It's really hard to find the time, but I'm hoping in college, which is probably a fever dream, that I will have time to at least edit a few videos every so. Like, at least have the time to, like, edit one video a month. Because I don't really have the time for that in my current state. But I would love to do that because I want to edit my videos and I want to make this beautiful content for you guys and I want people to watch my stuff. And I know how to do it, it just takes a lot of time. And even though I can't make this successful, I can make this something I love, and it is something I love. Streaming truly is one of my favorite hobbies. It brings me so much joy, and every time I do it, I feel like a new person. I feel refreshed. I just feel good when I stream. And when I mess up a stream, I feel horrible because of how much I care. I really do care. And I just thank you so much for everything. The people that are watching, the 2 people that are watching, love y'all. Kisses, platonically. This is just, a dream that I'm even able to put anything into the internet at all. So I really appreciate it. So, just, yeah, thank you. I'm sorry for getting all cheesy there. I'm really having a lot of joy in my heart right now, okay? And you can't make fun of me because I said so. Okay, I'm gonna go. I love y'all so much. And I'll see y'all next week with Movie Let Story Quest. Thank you, I love you, bye. Oh wait, I love you so much, and remember that you matter. Remember that you matter. The screen may be cut off, but the audio is not. Okay, bye.